Stadium, Game 6 of the 1978 World Series. The American League champions, the New York Yankees, versus the National League champions, the Los Angeles Dodgers. Brought to you by Light Beer, everything you always wanted in a beer and less. And by Dodge and your Dodge dealer, who invites you to come in and see why people are saying, hey, that's my Dodge. And by Etra, for closeness with comfort, it's Gillette's best shave. Play ball! And play ball it is, and they're streaming in here. We're live from Dodger Stadium, Game 6. It'll be Catfish Hunter against Don Sutton. But the Dodger infield has been maligned here in Los Angeles and in New York. Tony Kubek, well, he's got some feelings about that, and I want to hear him, and I know you do too. Tony?
Well, Joe, if you're a former infielder, you take articles like you have been reading about the Dodger infield quite personal. Yes, they have been maligned, and I think unfairly. You do not win a National League's Western Division, a tough division, with a poor defense. You do not beat a solid team like the Philadelphia Phillies for the National League pennant with a lousy defense. They've been in the World Series for 2 consecutive years. You don't do that with a lousy defense. Sure, they have played sloppily at times, but not one of the games that was lost by the Dodgers in Yankee Stadium was due to their infield play. In Game 3, it very simply was Guidry's and a red-hot glove of Greg Nettles. In Game 4, the controversial play. Russell got the air, but it was a perfect throw that would have ended the inning on a double play as Munson scored, but Reggie Jackson's hip, intentional or not, was the thing that won that ball game for the Yankees. Game 5, it was very simple. Jim Beattie won it. Sure, the Dodgers played sloppily again, but also the Yankees had 18 hits and scored a lot of runs. The Dodger infielders may have made the pitchers throw to a few more hitters, but they didn't lose any ball games, and they've been very unfairly treated. Curt Gowdy, however, has more to say about some of the infield play in this World Series by the Dodgers.
It all started in the first inning, a day Bill Russell would like to forget. There's an error charge to him. Yankee runners are going on this pitch, and Yeager can't handle it, and the Yankees execute a double steal. Everything is going wrong for the Dodgers. The Dodger manager, Tom Lasorda, put it very bluntly, we played very, very badly. Here's a throw from right fielder Reggie Smith, soaring over the head of Yeager, up against the backstop. Another drive to Russell, ricochets off Russell out in the left field. Steve Garvey trying to handle his ground ball right under his glove, dribbling out into right field. And Johnny Oates trying to catch a knuckleball. This fielding did not lose the game for the Dodgers, but it certainly wasn't very pretty.
Steve Garvey came into the 1978 World Series with a remarkable RBI streak. In the last 46 games leading to this series, he drove in 44 runs. But the Yankee pitchers have gone right after him, and he has been relatively silent. Curt Gowdy spoke to Steve Garvey just a short time before this ball game to get some of his observations.
It's news when Steve Garvey doesn't knock a run in 5 games, especially, Steve, after that blistering month of September you've had. Has it been you or the Yankee pitching?
Well, Curt, I hate to make news this way, but it's been a combination of the Yankees throwing me in good locations that mix the ball up well, and then when I have hit the ball, I've hit it either right at Nettles or right at Piniella or straightaway center. So, again, it's been a combination of their pitching and defense that's kept me from driving in runs. I've been getting a couple hits, but usually, again, Nettles has knocked down 2 plays that could have driven an RBI. So I don't feel very good about it, but I know that I'm going to continue to go up there and keep swinging and not, again, be cautious.
What about Hunter tonight? Anything you're going to change against him that from the first time you batted against him?
Well, nothing at all, Curt. I think that, again, if you're just patient with Catfish, let him get the ball over the plate. He's going to mix speeds on you, so you don't want to go out and try to attack him and get your weight forward. So I think the key, again, is letting the ball come to you and then hitting it where it's pitched.
That's Steve Garvey. And right now, let's go back upstairs.
Curt, I don't think there's any question that if the Dodgers are going to get going, Steve Garvey is going to be a big factor in it. The pitchers tonight, well, there's only 9 active Major League pitchers who have won 200 games or more, and we've got 2 of them going here tonight. For the Yankees, Jim Catfish Hunter, he's won 222 games in his Major League career. And for the Dodgers, Don Sutton's won 205 games in his Major League career. If it does go to 7 games tomorrow night, pitchers are going to be Ron Guidry for the Yankees, and that's a question mark, how good he's going to be, and Tommy John for the Dodgers.
So there are the pitching matchups for tonight, and if there is a seventh game, you heard Tom Seaver talk about those two. We'll be here for the seventh game, but the big news is tonight. So let's meet the players. So let's go to John Ramsey, the public address announcer.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and welcome to Dodger Stadium and the sixth game of the 1978 World Series. Here are the world champion New York Yankees, non-starters, coaches, and trainers. And now, the New York Yankees starting lineup for this evening's game. Batting first, the center fielder, number 17, Mickey Rivers. Batting second, the left fielder, number 6, Roy White. Batting third and catching, the Yankee team captain, number 15, Thurman Munson.
Watch the reaction on the next fellow they introduce.
Batting fourth, the designated hitter, number 44, Reggie Jackson. Batting fifth, the right fielder, number 14, Lou Piniella. Batting sixth, the third baseman, number 9, Greg Nettles. Batting seventh, the first baseman, number 12, Jim Spencer. Batting eighth, the second baseman, number 25, Brian Doyle. Batting ninth, the shortstop, number 20, Bucky Dent. Warming up in the Yankee bullpen, number 29, Jim Catfish Hunter. And the manager for the Yankees, Bob Lemon. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the National League champions, your Los Angeles Dodgers, non-starters, coaches, and trainers.
Dodger fans telling their Dodgers, you're home and we love you.
The Dodgers starting lineup for this evening. Batting first, the second baseman, number 15, the Dodger team captain, Davey Lopes.
And there you see his wife, Lynn Lopes.
Batting second, the shortstop, number 18, Bill Russell.
It'll be a big boost for him, and there is Marianne Russell.
Batting third, the right fielder, number 8, Reggie Smith.
Reggie Smith, his wife Ernie.
Batting fourth, the first baseman, number 6, Steve Garvey. Batting fifth, the third baseman, number 10, Ron Cey.
Wife Fran, there she is.
Batting sixth, the left fielder, number 12, Dusty Baker.
And Harriet Baker. It's a pressure time for the players, but also for their families.
Batting seventh, the center fielder, number 16, Rick Mundy. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 13, Joe Ferguson. Batting ninth, the designated hitter, number 33, Vic Davalio. Warming up in the Dodger bullpen, the pitcher, number 20, Don Sutton.
And there is Patty Sutton. Wonder what she's thinking about, huh? Pressure?
The manager of the Dodgers, Tommy Lasorda.
We're going to have a moment of silence in memory of the late Jim Gilliam, the Dodger coach who died a week ago Sunday. Many of you are aware of it, but for those of you who are not, the Dodgers have dedicated this series to Jim Gilliam. As you watch this game, you'll see the Dodgers wearing a number 19 on their sleeves. It's Gilliam's number.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you all please rise for a moment of silence in memory of Dodger great Jim Gilliam, to whom this World Series is dedicated. And now, to honor America, our national anthem will be sung today by Sue Rainey.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly
NBC will bring you the 6th game of the World Series following the ceremonial first pitch right after this message. The preceding message was furnished by Major League Baseball. And now let's go back to John Ramsey.
Ladies and gentlemen, calling your attention to the Dodger on-deck circle, where all-time Dodger great Duke Snider will throw out the first ball. Duke hit 11 home runs in World Series play, the most by any National League player. He is the only player in the history of the World Series to hit as many as 4 home runs in 2 World Series. Ladies and gentlemen, Duke Snider.
Duke, you played in 6 series. 4 times you're in the position the young Dodgers are in right now. Can they come back?
Well, I think with this reception, Kurt, they're back home. The fans are behind them. I think it's going to be a different ball game. They were in awe of New York City and Yankee Stadium and didn't play their kind of baseball, but they're home, and I know we felt the same way when we got to Ebbets Field while we were a much tougher club.
The Dodgers' all-time great center fielder, Duke Snider, and out to Joe Garagiola.
Okay, Kurt, Duke Snider, good to see the Duker. We see him during the season. He is a broadcaster for the Montreal Expos, so it looks great, Tony.
Dodgers could have used that left-handed bat and that power in Yankee Stadium.
There's the Yankee bench. Of course, they're loose. They're ready to play. Here come the Dodgers. Listen.
Here's the defense for the Dodgers. Back home for game 6. Steve Garvey at first base. Second base, it's Davey Lopes, who had the 2 good ball games here, games 1 and 2. There's the shortstop, Bill Russell, along with American League umpire Bill Haller. Ronnie Say, the Dodger third baseman. Would you believe any infield would be happy to get back home to this infield, Tom? In left field, it's Dusty Baker. Center fielder, Rick Monday. Out in right field, Reggie Smith, whose bat shows some signs that he better hurry of coming around. There's a change, the catcher, Joe Ferguson. And the pitcher, Don Sutton. One of those deals where it might be the biggest ball game he's ever had to pitch, but he's been in this situation many times before. Lasorda just wants to shake up the lineup, so he has taken Yeager out with Ferguson, maybe get a little more punch.
That's exactly what he said, Tony. He's given up some defense to get some possible offense, and I think if you're keeping score with this, the tip-off is just look at the difference in where the designated hitters are batting. For the Yankees, Jackson is the DH, he's batting 4th, and Davalillo, the DH for the Dodgers, is batting 9th. That's got to tell you something if you never saw a game. Don Sutton will have to come up with a pretty well-pitched ball game, Tom.
Well, there's no question about it, Joe, that the Dodgers need it now. That last game in New York did not leave a good taste in their mouth, that's for sure. And coming home to this ballpark, in front of their fans, comfortable, feel like they're playing in their own front yard is going to be a big boost to them. But I think psychologically, they've got to get through the first couple innings. The first ground ball, they've got to field it cleanly. They've got to throw right, get them off on the right foot.
Here we go. Mickey Rivers, who usually swings at the first pitch, is waiting. He misses it. Strike 1. Rivers hitting .429, 14 times at bat, 6 base hits. He's stolen 1 base. Say is moved in close at third. That's going to be out of play, and it's 2 quick strikes on Mickey Rivers. Mickey Rivers, who has 6 base hits. They came in 2 ball games. High and tight.
Sutton's last game, he started game 3 at New York Friday night, losing 5-1 to Guidry, allowed 5 runs, 9 hits in 6 1/3 innings. Walked 3, struck out 2. Joe Ferguson behind the plate. Bouncing ball to Lopes. Boy, there it was, a low throw, the pressure showed, but you have to have an eraser, and Garvey was the eraser.
Tell you what, Joe Lopes got surprised when he waited, and Mickey Rivers ran better than he's run most of the time this series. He forced the slow throw, and it is not a short hop. That is a tough hop, that in-between hop that Garvey just scooped out.
This is the type of play in the first inning that can pick the club up. Even though they did get a bad play, they got the good play at first base from Steve Garvey, and they got the first out. First step out of the cradle. They should be in good shape.
Well, there goes a base hit. Dusty Baker cuts it off. Looked like a 2-base hit when it started. So the Yankees have a base runner, Roy White. White hitting .350. Now he's 8 for 21. It brings up Munson, who has 7 base hits, 20 times at bat. That's a .350 average.
Now let's see if Bob Lemon goes right off the bat with a pretty good base steal on first base from Roy White. A good contact man up at the plate. A control pitcher, pretty much. He may start the runner and go hit and run.
Ferguson has a good arm. There you see Lemon. Not as strong as Yeager's, but certainly, I would say, better than average. Maybe a little bit slow on his release, but he's got a good arm. Munson, who can hit the ball to the right side. They play him just straight away. He uses the whole ballpark, maybe even some of the parking lot. Munson leading the club in runs batted in with 7. In fact, he's leading both teams. Roy White to lead it first. 1 strike the count, 1 out. Ball game just getting started. There goes White. Bouncing ball. Russell is vacated. Makes the play as he backtracks. There was another play that's got to pick you up, Tony.
Bill Russell almost left his shortstop position a little too soon on the breaking ball. He was covering. Fastball, it might have been Lopes. But about this time, Russell is leaving the shortstop spot, but it is topped by Munson. Not hit sharply enough. Now you see him go back to his original position. But Munson does get the runner in scoring position.
So there are 2 away, and it brings up Reggie Jackson as we look at Roy White at second base. Jackson hitting .444. 8 base hits. 18 times at bat. 1 home run. 6 runs batted in. He has done anything, everything you would ask of a ball player. Ball 1.
One thing a pitcher wants to do right here, Joe, and I'm sure it's on Don Sutton's mind, is get his club off the field without giving up a run. Get him in that dugout, get him near the bat rack so they can go out there first hacks and they don't have to come back from behind. They want to be able to play even that first time when they get there at bat.
Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes.
I sure would not throw Reggie Jackson a strike. With first base open and a right-hand hitter up, even though he's a good one, Piniella.
Got to go along with you, Tony. And I know if I were catching, I would make him widen his strike zone. If he's going to hit it, he's going to hit a bad ball. He's not going to get a strike to hit. Let's see what happens. Curveball. It's popped up, but it's out of play. And that was a good curveball. That kind of, as a kid, you called it drop. It was an overhand curveball, just rolled right down. Good pitch. 2 balls, 1 strike.
It's a good indication of what the Yankees can look for off Don Sutton, too. The count was 2 balls and no strikes. That's a hitter situation. He's ahead of the pitcher, and many times in that situation, the hitter will look for a fastball. They'll look for that hard stuff. Don Sutton was way behind, 2-0, came with a curveball.
A good pitcher can control something besides a fastball behind that hitter. Did he go around? Yes, he did. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Roy White's on at second base.
Munson goes after, Jackson goes after a bad pitch, and you can really see it go down. Immediately when that ball left Sutton's hand, he went to the back of his belt. Maybe we'll see it.
They're checking it right now.
It's a real sinker, I'll tell you that. He's going to pick up down. He's going to go out of our picture right after that motion. He went to his back. I don't know what for. Maybe nothing at all.
Tony, they were checking it as you were describing that, and they threw the ball out. So there may have been a scuff mark. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Jackson, one of the 5 players who have hit safely in every game. Bouncing ball to Russell, big high. Inning is over. Yankees go down in the top half of the first, and coming to the bottom half of the first inning, it's Yankees nothing, Dodgers coming to bat.
Dodger Stadium, Chavez Ravine here in Los Angeles. Game number 6 of the World Series. Here's the defensive alignment for the Yankees. Jim Spencer's at first base. It's Brian Doyle once again at second. Doyle and Stanley have done a good job out there defensively. Bucky Dent's the shortstop. At third base, Greg Nettles. In left field, Roy White. Center fielder, talking to some fans, Mickey Rivers. In right field, he's been steady, Lou Piniella. The catcher, Thurman Munson. Joe indicated he's leading the series in RBIs with 7. He's swinging the bat well the last few games. And the pitcher for the Yankees, Jim Catfish Hunter. He wants to get it over and go hunting.
His brother supposedly got his 6-point Bucky, so he said he wants to join him. Got to have that incentive, so Catfish says he has it, but he's facing Davey Lopes, who is hitting .273 with 6 base hits, 22 times at bat. Ball 1. Lopes with 2 home runs, hit those in the first game. Catfish doesn't waste any time. He gets the ball and throws it. Outside. Catfish started game number 2 at Los Angeles last Wednesday, losing 4-3 to Hooten, allowing 4 runs, 7 hits in 6 innings. Deep to left field, going back to Roy White. There it is. It is a 1-0 ball game.
I really couldn't tell, Tony. I think it was a fastball he got upstairs. Looked like a sinking fastball he got up. His mistake was that he got to 2-0. Catfish, of course, gave up 16 home runs this year. He gives up a lot of home runs.
Here's a base hit dropping in for Russell. Russell gets another hit. And so the Dodgers' first 2 batters, a home run by Davey Lopes. That ball in Yankee Stadium, Roy White would probably be running in on it. But here, it's a home run, and that's what they were talking about, getting home, getting to the friendly ballpark.
What has happened so far in this World Series shows how much the word momentum means. Nothing. The Yankees come in with it, and look what happens. The Dodgers turn it around.
Here's Reggie Smith, strike 1. Russell, now 11 hits and 24 times at bat. Popped up behind the plate. Munson coming back and doesn't have room. Smith hitting .238, 21 times at bat, 5 base hits, 1 home run. There are 5 players.
Here's Roy White. Went back as far as he could with a hand on the fence to gauge where he was going and get a little left. Almost hits a left field cameraman or left center field cameraman on the top of the noggin.
It hit him in the arm. Looked like a glancing blow there. Through hail, through rain, through snow, our NBC cameras will be there through baseballs. Reggie Smith is out on strikes. Steve Garvey, and he's got a hit for these Dodgers to win. Garvey has 5 base hits and 20 times at bat. But the big thing is no home runs, no runs batted in. And this is a fellow who drove in 113 runs during the season, 3rd in the league. 1 man out. On at first base, Bill Russell. Dodgers lead 1-0. The home run by Lopes. That's high, and it's ball 1.
Tom, I've heard you talk many times and throughout this World Series, and I know you went by the same thing pitching, because you've told us that there's one man in each lineup you'd like to pitch around if you could. The Yankees have not pitched around him. The pitchers have gone right after him. They've walked him just one time. They've made excellent pitches against him now.
He's been really aggressive against him, Tony. You're exactly right. And he's not swinging well. It looked in Yankee Stadium as if he was trying to pull most of the pitches. And when Steve Garvey does that, he's not a very effective hitter. He's an effective hitter when he uses the right center field alley, the left center field alley, and pulls the high breaking ball and the mistakes that a pitcher will make.
There goes the runner. Here's a throw by Munson. They got him. I don't know how he threw that ball. It was shades of Eldon Walker. It's a submariner. He really submarine. Now watch the release. This is something to marvel at. It's not something you really want to practice. He does everything wrong except get the man. Loses his balance, throws it underhand, gets the ball there in time, and that's all that counts. They don't pay you for looking good.
Well, you can throw it as hard as you want, but if you wind up to throw it, it still does not get there very quickly. He did not throw it very hard, but he got rid of it quickly and accurately, and it got there as quick as a hard thrower.
It's amazing how he threw that ball submarine like Eldon Walker used to do it. You remember a submariner?
Eldon Walker?
Here's the pitch. You don't remember him?
I missed him.
Used to be with the St. Louis Browns. We used to watch him as kids. Here's the pitch to Garvey. It's a bouncy ball, pull foul.
Now you can see on that pitch, Joe, that's a slider down and away with a count 2-2, and Steve's going out and trying to pull that ball. And that's just not the way that Steve Garvey normally hits. That's not the Garvey that ends up getting 200 hits in a season. He just doesn't normally hit that way.
Are you saying he's pressing?
I don't know if he's pressing or exactly if he's uncomfortable. We don't know what's wrong with him, but he certainly does not look like the Steve Garvey that we normally see in the National League.
He looks like he's feeling for the ball, like he's not sure of himself.
They haven't given him very many strikes. That last pitch was up and in out of the strike zone. The one before was down and away. That's a bad pitch, isn't it?
Looked like it was outside, and he's out on strikes. That ends the inning. But on a home run by Lopes at the end of one inning, Yankees nothing, Dodgers 1. That's going to be a good one, Danny Red Lopez, Little Red Lopez, Fel Clemente, Sports World Special Edition. You're looking at Los Angeles. Ballpark are creepy all over this ballpark. We got a couple of them roaming. Lou Piniella leads it off. 5 players have hit safely in every game. Jackson, Piniella, White, Russell, Smith. Curveball, it was a beauty right on that outside corner. Beauty if you're pitching or catching, nasty if you're hitting. One ball and 1 strike to count on Piniella. Piniella, 6 base hits, 21 times at bat, hitting .286. Big base hit off Wells to win the game. Throws his bat, backhanded by Say, long throw. They got him. Piniella doesn't believe it. He's still standing in first base with his hands on his hips.
Pretty good play by Ronnie Say. Look how far he goes. Right to the line. Does not panic. It's a long, fairly accurate throw. Good stretch. It was just a bang-bang play. A bang-bang call for Ed Vargo. He got him by a half a step. There you see it. Ron Say. They are upset, the Dodger defense, I'll tell you that. From all, well, we talked about it earlier, they've taken some cheap shots.
Now Ed Vargo is not going to take anything from somebody in that bench. He'll go in and clean them out.
Piniella.
He is really upset.
It's a good call, Joe.
He had it, Tony. Ed Vargo, he's looking right in there. Piniella, he's going to have to cool it. Reggie Jackson trying to cool him down.
I think Sutton has done a very good job here. In the first inning especially, he got out of the inning without giving up a run, which was a big lift to the Dodgers. And, of course, Davey Lopes' home run. There's another shot of that play at first. And one thing already, we've got 4 outs by the Dodgers, all of them in the infield. Davey Lopes has made 2 outs, 2 assists. Bill Russell has an assist. Ron Say has an assist on a very good play as you look at Piniella again. I think after the game that they had Sunday in New York, coming back here to their own Dodger Stadium,
to get rid of the question mark is to get through the first couple innings and make a couple of good plays in the infield, which they've done already.
Nettles with a count of 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. As we look at Jim Spencer in the on-deck circle, Nettles is hitting 143. He has 3 base hits, 21 times at bat. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count, 1 out, nobody on. Dodgers are leading 1-0. We're in the second.
Tom, I think the best thing to take the pressure off any infielder is get a run on the board in a hurry. You can get a lead, that relieves a lot of the tension and pressure for any infielder.
Pulled foul. You know, I think it's a funny thing about pressure, too, in the World Series. It's the outside activity that really keeps building it up. Reading the papers, listening to the telecast, whatever. They came out to the ballpark, some of them were snarling. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Nettles. There's a base hit in the right center field. Reggie Smith coming over. So is Monday. It's Monday who cuts it off. So Nettles has a base hit with 1 out. And it brings up Spencer, the first baseman.
Jim Spencer.
We'll pause briefly for our station identification. This is the NBC television network. Joe Garagiola with Tony Kubek, Kurt Gowdy, and Tom Seaver here at Dodger Stadium. Game 6, 1-0. Dodgers lead. A home run by Davey Lopes, the leadoff man for the Dodgers in the bottom of the first. We are in the second inning with 1 out and 1 on. Spencer, who has replaced Chambliss in the lineup, is hitting at .222. He has 2 home runs, 2 hits, 9 times at bat, no home runs. 2 for 9. Two balls, no strikes. Get behind these powerful hitters. Spencer likes to pull the ball.
Couple of good days right there.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
8 RBIs. That's a lot. The 2-0 pitch. Whoops, he backs off. Nettles is on at first base. Nettles, during the season, only stole 1 base. Outside, 3 balls, no strikes. Spencer takes a look at the third base coach. He wants to hit the triple 3-0.
Sutton twice now has gone 2-0 on a Jackson. He threw a breaking ball to Spencer. 2-0. He just turned the ball over. It looked like a little screwball, Tom.
There's the strike.
There's a fastball, and he definitely is going with his breaking ball, Tony. Going to breaking ball a lot. Greg Nettles' hit was on the curveball. There were a lot of curveballs to Jackson.
Watch the runner. 1 man out. Spencer draws the walk. That's the first walk given up by Don Sutton. And it brings up Doyle, Brian Doyle. There's Lasorda. Doyle, 4 for 12, 333. As you watch Sutton pitch, you may see him rub down above the belt, rub down below the belt. What he's doing is either adding or subtracting to the signal already given to him by his catcher. You have that worked out. Strike 1, breaking ball. Nettles is at second, Spencer is at first. 1 man out. Foul ball, strike 2. A home run by Davey Lopes, giving the Dodgers a 1-0 lead. Yankee base runners, Nettles at second. Spencer's at first, Brian Doyle a hitter.
One day against the Dodgers, and here he gets a hanging curveball. Hits it all the way out the left field alley. Dusty Baker ran it down. You wouldn't expect a little guy like that to be able to hit the ball over your head, but it was a real bad pitch that Sutton threw, a high curveball. Drives in a run, got men at second and third, still in scoring position. There's Jim Spencer going around third, and third base coach Dick Hauser holding him up, getting him back to third.
Well, you saw a lot of great action there. You saw John Kibler, the umpire, set himself. He's at third base. This is Bucky Dent. It's a strike.
Well, what they wanted from Stanley and, of course, Doyle, who've been alternating and platooning at second base, is steady defense. Make the double play, make the plays. They've gotten, Doyle's gotten 5 base hits. That's a plus.
The outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Scores tied, 1 apiece.
This guy is an excellent bunter right here with 1 out and Spencer on base. He led the American League in sacrifices 2 years in a row, Dent, so look out. You never know what they're going to try.
Up the middle, it's a base hit. 1 run is in. Here comes Doyle. The throw to the plate is not in time, and the Yankees lead 3-1. And now the ball gets by Ferguson, and down to second base goes Bucky Dent. And all the good they did with the good plays was just erased with that sloppy play right there.
I've got to believe they're going to charge an error to Ferguson, the catcher, because Garvey decoyed on the cutoff from center fielder Monday. We'll see it coming right at you. There's the hit up the middle, scoots through the hard infield here in Chavez Ravine. Monday's throw, 1 run is scored. Now he's going home. It was not a good throw. Garvey decoyed and throws the runner going around. That was Dent. And then when the ball went through Ferguson's leg, Dent got in scoring position also. So charge an error to Ferguson.
You know those Dodger players. Now Lopes is going to go in and talk to Sutton. I'm sure that just as we look at Lasorda to reassure Sutton that, hey, this is not going to be another game like we had at Yankee Stadium, but then you have to wonder.
There it is. You can see Spencer, who's just scored, saying, stay up, stay up. No chance for a play to Doyle. Right there, the ball handcuffs Ferguson.
First pitch, it's pulled on the first base line. Garvey, foul ball. Ground ball to Lopes. In time. Rivers is out. Bucky Dent moves on over to third.
Roy White.
Roy White is the batter. White single left his first time up. This game of baseball, you can get up so high and down so low so fast. Dent's at third. 2 outs. Roy White. Ball 1.
That's one of the problems about this game psychologically, Joe, is that if you get too high, when you do come down, you can really come down with a thud and never get yourself back up again. Many ball players just try to stay on an even keel and just ride through, never really get too high or too low. When you're playing 162 games during a regular season, that's really the only way that you can approach it.
It's the only way to approach it, but it's such a difficult road, Tom.
It's terrible. I mean, it's an impossible road to do, but that's what you try to do. Emotionally, that's what you try to do. It's impossible, but you do the best you can.
The Yankees have traveled an impossible road almost the entire season, the second half anyway.
Here's the 1-1 pitch to White. It is a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs. They'll be talking on that Dodger bench about the base hit that Doyle got. That's the big base hit. And once again, the base on balls has come home to haunt the Dodgers. All started with a hit by Nettles, a walk to Spencer, a double to Doyle, a single by Dent there, and it's 3-1. Yankees. Left field, Dusty Baker should make the play. He does. So White flies to Baker. That ends the inning. We go into the bottom half of the second inning. New York Yankees 3, Los Angeles Dodgers 1. A view from Dodger Stadium. I don't know where our camera is. He's way out there. We're live. Our NBC cameras getting all over this place. I'm telling you. High atop a hill in center field. Tony, we talk about the moods of these 2 different ball clubs. You would think that the Dodgers would have to go and really stick a lot of splinters in that Yankee bat rack. I mean, overpower them. And
well, Sutton hasn't really pitched a good game. He hasn't gotten a win since September 15th. He's been struggling. He's on the verge of a great pitcher. He's been a great pitcher for the Dodgers for many years. But I've got to believe he's going to get a hard throw in there, as you said, Joe. Maybe it's a Welch for 2 innings to just shut the Yankees off right now and hope they can come back with some runs. But that's Tommy's decision.
Here is Ron Cey. I tell you, you can't head these Yankees off at the pass. You're going to have to get them before they leave the fort.
Not when they got one game to wrap it all up. That's today.
3-1. Yankees lead. Curveball misses. Ron Cey. Cey hitting .294. 5 base hits, 17 times at bat. He has 1 home run. That was a big 3-run homer. Hit it off Catfish. Outside. Boy, a lot of bugs flying around the cat. You can see them on your screen. Live fly ball, left field. White's going back. Has he got room? Looks like he has. Makes the play. Just got under it.
Catfish better not continue to pitch up in that area. Tom?
Well, he's one of the. I was talking to Clyde King before the game, and the thing that he didn't want, here you see a shot of Cey and that high fly ball, and Nettles at third base. Look at Greg.
Relax, will you? Cheer down, Greg.
That's my old buddy Greg. Roy White in left field. He must be about 6, 8, 10 feet from the wall. One thing that Clyde King wanted to see Catfish do was to establish his slider down and away, keep the ball down in the strike zone. Catfish got the American League record for most home runs allowed lifetime of 359, and that is one of his problems, is the home run ball.
It's fouled out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike.
This is about that slider that King was telling, and Art Fowler really is the pitching coach in his ball club, but the pitch that, and Fowler was saying, the pitch that Hunter has really lost does not have the velocity like it once did, is the slider. He still has the change of speeds, the curveball, he changes up well, but he cannot throw that slider hard enough after the arm problem.
Ground ball to Dent. They get Dusty Baker. I tell you, in deference to our good friend Alan Roth, and he won't get upset when I say this, but some statistics I think are ridiculous, like home runs allowed by a pitcher. And it depends on the innings pitched and when they're given up. There's so many factors. The ballpark comes into play.
How many men on when they're hit? That's the most important, too.
I tell you.
Robin Roberts used to give them up, didn't he?
Oh, did he ever? He'd give you that nice, comfortable collar we always talked about, too. 2 outs and nobody on. Here is Rick Monday. First pitch, ground ball. Doyle has it. Catfish has an easy inning. 3 up, 3 down for the Dodgers. We complete 2 innings of baseball here, and it's the New York Yankees lead. The Dodgers won. Coming to bat for the Yankees, it'll be Thurman Munson to lead it off, followed by Reggie Jackson and then Lou Piniella. Well, here it's the Hollywood Connection, they call it. You're looking, the man drinking the Coke, I guess, whatever it is Jerry Weintraub, one of the big impresarios here. He is sitting in Frank Sinatra's box seat. Frank, who is in New York, I'm sure, if he gets a chance, watching it. He's an honorary coach for Lasorda. Julie Rizzo, Don Rickles. I tell you, it's like going to watch Hollywood Square as you come out the ballpark here. They're all here. Ball 1 to Thurman Munson. Munson bounced out to the shortstop his first time up. It's a strike right on the outside corner. I'm like Munson, I didn't believe that call, but it is. I hesitated. I thought it was outside. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Curveball. Tap foul. He looks like he's got a good breaking ball, Tom, the overhand curveball.
Got a very good breaking ball. The bad one he threw was to Brian Doyle. He's getting it over for strikes. He just hung it right up in his eyes. That's the problem with throwing a lot of breaking balls, is getting the ball up. Here's the pitch to Thurman Munson. Sutton, of course, throws off that stiff front leg. He does get his arm through, though. A very good breaking ball. Just don't get it up there where it looks like a balloon. You can really, the hitter's a hack on it.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Foul tip. That high curveball, you can pick up the spin so soon in that batter's box, and you can see it. Oh boy! If there's ever a pitch you would call room service for, that would be it.
I see hitters' eyes. They start to look like pool balls. I mean, the eyelids go back, and you see all the white come out in their eyeballs. It's like a Christmas card, they said, and you say, "Thank you very much."
Here's the 1-2 pitch. It's fouled out of play. I tell you, I've been behind the plate, and you've heard catchers do it too, that before the guy even hits the ball, you go, no, no, and then hit it. Yankees 3, Dodgers 1. Third inning. Munson is out on strikes. That's the first strikeout for Don Sutton.
There's another curveball again, and it's a dandy. Sutton gets right on top of the ball, really pulls it down. His right arm gets all the way through. See how his right arm goes all the way through? Right down, just below the knees. Pretty good pitch. Can't hit that one.
With this camera action, here you see Munson reacting to it. I'm sure he's asking the umpire if that ball was a strike. He just wants to hear what he said. He's not arguing at all. Sutton really curls his hand around that ball, Tom.
Really gets his hand on top of it. Gets all the four seams working in his favor. Tries to get that curveball to dig right down. He wants it to go straight down.
That was a fastball that Jackson had missed. Ball 1. You're watching from this shot as he curls his hand around, and when he does that, you know it's a curveball. There it was.
I still think the thing that Sutton's going to have to do if he's going to come back in this ball game is the Yankees are such good hitters, he's going to have to start getting some hitters out with his fastball, or they're going to lay for that curveball. Reggie Jackson just swung at what looked like a slider, but he's going to have to throw some fastballs and get some hitters out.
I think you're exactly right, Tony. Yeah, you see Reggie's feet as he's digging in at home plate. When Nettles got his base hit, it was 1 ball and 2 strikes. He's Sutton was ahead of him, and Nettles is a fastball hitter. He hit that curveball like he knew was coming, like he's sitting on the curveball, even though he's got 2 strikes on it.
It's outside, turned it over. 2 balls and 1 strike. It's not a big screwball when he turns it over, but it's enough to, if you try to hit it, you're just not going to get it. It's in a good spot. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Nobody on. 3-1 Yankees lead. We're in the 3rd. Breaking ball again. 2-2's the count.
He's throwing a lot of curveballs tonight, and there's another one going straight down. It's not an easy pitch to hit. It's easy if you get it up in the strike zone. You keep it down, it's tough.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Struck him out. Second strikeout. It brings up Lou Piniella. Piniella bounced out his first time up. Dodger fans whooping it up. They want to see baseball tomorrow. And if there is a Game 7, we'll be right here. And we'll be looking for you. 2 outs, nobody on. It's a strike. That's out of play. Strike 2. Dodgers jumped out to a 1-0 lead as Davey Lopes opened the bottom half of the first with a home run. But the Yankees in the second. A single by Nettles, a walk to Spencer, a double by Doyle over the left fielder Baker's head, a single by Dent, and that's how we stand. The Yankees 3 runs, 4 hits and no errors. Dodgers 1 run, 2 hits and 1 error. Sutton against Hunter. Didn't mean to swing. An easy ground ball to Garvey. He'll take it himself. Easy inning for Sutton. 3 up, 3 down. Now we go to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. It's New York 3, Los Angeles 1. And due up for the Dodgers, it'll be Joe Ferguson, Vic Davalillo, the designated hitter, and Davey Lopes. Joe Ferguson, a big guy, 6'2", 215 pounds, 32 years old. He began his career in the Dodger organization in 1968 and went to St. Louis and Houston and back to Los Angeles early this year. It's a strike. Foul ball.
You know, Joe, earlier Tony was talking about catfish and his sore arm, and he's had some shoulder trouble. The reason being that he pitches across his body. His left leg comes down, and he actually places it on the other side of his foot, on the other side of his right foot, and causes him to throw across his body. A lot of strain on your shoulder.
Ball one. Ferguson came from Houston for two players to be named later. The players turned out to be Landis-Doy and Jeff Leonard, youngster who led the Pacific Coast League in hitting. You know, Ed Libertor, the scout for the Dodgers, hated to lose him. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Right center field, well hit. Piniella going back, and had the ball, hit the wall, drops it. Ferguson stops at second. Piniella may be hurt. He hit that ball hard. There goes the trainer, Gene Monahan. What an effort by Piniella.
Piniella extended himself as far as he could go after an excellent jump. He tried to backhand the ball in the glove, and that it popped out before he hit the wall, actually. It's something we did not see initially, but he ran headlong right into the wall in right center field. I'll tell you, he made one heck of a try, as you said, Joe, but here's what happens when you play in a strange ballpark. His own ballpark, you would know, he hit the side of his face, the left side, right into the fence.
Tony, on the replay, you could see it from just watching. It looked like he had the ball, but it went out of his glove before he got there. But he was on the warning track. He knew he was close, and it didn't slow him down at all. Tremendous effort.
You wonder, Joe, if that ball popped off the side of his glove when he tried to backhand it. When he hit that warning track, he might have taken his eye off. We couldn't see. He'd have to look right directly in his eyes. And by doing that, by looking for the wall, he lost sight of the ball for a split second.
Well, our director, Harry Coyle, who will end up probably in a wax museum somewhere for his great coverage. He'll be coming to see the guy who gets these shots with our great camera crew. So, Harry, once again, great replays. Congratulations to all of you. Davalillo, beautiful bunt. It's going to be a race, and Catfish Hunter wins it. He was bunting for the base hit. But what happens is gets a sacrifice as Ferguson moves to third.
Saw the kind of athlete that Catfish Hunter is right here, Tommy.
He does all the things that a good pitcher has to do, Tony. There's no question about it. He was going that way off the mound, and Davalillo still runs well for an elderly man, shall we say, about 40, 44 years old. A good bunt and a good play by both the first baseman Jim Spencer and the pitcher Catfish Hunter.
Here is Davey Lopes, who hit a home run in that first inning to give the Dodgers a 1-0 lead, erased by the Yankees 3 runs in the second. Ferguson is on at third base, 1 man out. And here's the pitch. It's popped up foul. Tom, you talked about Davalillo, the elderly man. The current press guide lists his birthday as July 31st, 1939, which would make him 39 years old. But older reference books list his birthday as 1936, which would make him 42. So like Satchel Paige, he's older than 9, but under 70.
Now he's playing in at third base in case Davies tries to drop a bunt down.
High fastball, 1 ball, 1 strike. This is what they have not been able to do, driving that run from third base with less than 2 outs. Ferguson. They'll get him this time. Lopes comes through. It's a 3-2 ball game. Ferguson scores.
Was Lopes the key to first victory for this Dodger ball club? Game 1 here of the 1978 World Series. You started off again right back here at home in Chavez Ravine with the second RBI of the game. Peabody Tomahawker, that pitch is up out of the strike zone.
Ball 1. Davey Lopes, as we look at the Dodger bench, he would like to steal a base here.
I think he's going to be given a chance by Lasorda also. Russell up, who protects the runner so well.
Munson threw out Russell in that first inning, but Davey Lopes again in the game of messages. Lopes would like to deliver a message that you can't get me if I run. There he goes. Munson throws. Lopes makes it.
Bucky Dent, the shortstop backing up the plate, reacting to see Doyle right now arguing was that he might have been out. It was very close. Bill Haller's the man down there. Munson got rid of the ball in a hurry. It was awfully close. Bang, bang, but Lopes' foot Lopes' foot got in there just in time, Joe.
Davey Lopes. Munson made a fantastic throw once again. And Davey Lopes, as we look at 3 replays, again, Harry giving us a great shot. Here comes number 4. Watch Lopes. He's going straight for the bag. Nothing fancy.
His foot was on the bag, and the tag by Doyle was slapped right in the back of his heel.
Each replay told us something. The first one told us it was a straight steal. He never did look at the hitter. And there's a pitch outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Davey put his head down and headed for second base. They're going to try to take this game away from the Yankees any way they can, and Lopes is the leader.
Got a good lead off second, Joe.
They better watch him. Outside. Brian Doyle is jockeying back and forth with 1 out. Even if you don't pick him off, they'd like to cut his lead down so the outfielders may have a play at the plate. 3-2. Yankees are leading. 1 man out. Russell walks.
Here's the man, according to the scouting report turned in by the Yankees, that the Yankee pitchers want to pitch around in any tough situation. It was not Garvey.
It was not Garvey.
They fear his left-handed bat. They feared it especially in Yankee Stadium.
Time is called now. 1 man out. Lopes is on at second. Russell is on at first. We're in the bottom of the 3rd. High, ball 1. This crowd is going wild. They're deep for Reggie Smith. Doyle, 1 over the first, double play. So the Yankees get a big double play, and Doyle makes a good play on his ball, Tony.
It was 1 super double play on both ends. Doyle, and now look at Dent. Under pressure, gets the throw off. Smith runs well. Russell really took him into a tumble. Great double play.
That he did. That ended the inning. So at the end of 3 complete innings, Yankees 3, Dodgers 2, and we got a dandy going. And we'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
Here you get another look at the double play that ended the Dodgers' 3rd inning. If that ball goes through, the Dodgers end up with runners on 1st and 3rd, and Steve Garvey up. That's the pitcher's best friend right there, especially against a tough hitter like Reggie Smith.
Also, Tom, if Dent doesn't turn the double play, it's 1st and 3rd, 2 outs, and Garvey's up. So any way you look at it, both guys made a super play.
Nettles hits the first pitch foul into the stands. And you know, we were talking about most valuable players in this series, and that little Brian Doyle, who was supposed to be a blowout patch because Willie Randolph is out with an injury, pulled hamstring. Doyle, he drove in a big run that second inning with a double, made this play. He and Stanley have done a tremendous job filling in for Randolph. That was just a super double play under a lot of pressure. Nettles singled to right in the 2nd inning and scored. He scored on Doyle's double. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Yankees. 2 runs, 4 hits, and 1 error for the Dodgers. We are in the 4th. Game 6. Yankees leading 3-2 in games. 3-2 in runs in this game. Left center field, going back is Monday, has room. 1 out.
Jim Spencer.
Brings up Jim Spencer. Spencer walked and scored in the 2nd inning. He scored on a base hit by Bucky Dent. Good crowd on hand. Looks like a jam ballpark to me. They're here to root their Dodgers home. Strike is called. 3.3 million saw the Dodgers play during the regular season. That's a lot of anything. People, jelly beans, whatever. Fouls it back. 2 strikes.
You know, since they've come out here, Joe, I think there's only 4 times that the Dodgers have played under 500 ball. They came out in, what, 1958? That was the first year they came out here. Only 4 times, 4 years since then, that they've had teams that have played less than 500 baseball.
Tribute to the organization. Strike is called. Spencer is out on strikes. That's the 3rd strikeout for Sutton.
You heard Tony talk about it before, that Sutton is going to have to try to get some people out with his fastball. But he did it right here. He set up that pitch with some good breaking balls before. I think Spencer was looking for the pitch out over the plate. A good fastball right on that inside corner.
And here's Brian Doyle. Doyle doubled in the 2nd inning, a big base hit for the Yankees. Takes it outside, ball 1. Does it look to you guys that Baker's moved back a little bit? It looks the same to me.
I think he's moved back a couple steps.
Right off the glove of Sutton. Doyle's heading for first, and he'll make it another base hit for him. He's 2 for 2 tonight. Tell you. He hit that ball right back up the middle, hit it hard.
One of the things, if you're a pitcher, that you have to be aware of is that shot that comes right back at you. You'll see it right here. Boom. That glove's on your hand for a little protection as well as trying to get somebody out. Sutton thought he might have had that ball at first. Looked like he had a shot at it.
There's Doyle. Bucky Dent loops one into center field. It's going to drop. Doyle stops at second base. So once again, the 8th and 9th place hitters are on base with base hits.
Russell has no chance. The last 3 hitters have been on base 5 times so far in this ball game.
So Doyle is on at second. Dent is on at first. We have 2 men out. Yankees leading by a run. 3-2 is the score. We're in the 4th, and now it's Mickey Rivers, who has bounced out twice to the second baseman as we look at Patty Sutton. Rivers takes it inside for ball 1.
Those 2 hitters in the bottom of the lineup, Tony, Sunday and today, are just amazing.
That's what they get paid for. Hitting and fielding.
Dent.
Fielding and hitting.
That's right.
Dent Sunday had 3 base hits and scored 2 runs. Rivers fouls it back. 1 ball, 1 strike. While I look at the baseball, let me tell you, this telecast presented by authority of Major League Baseball is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. And any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or the use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of Major League Baseball is prohibited. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, 2 on. Yankees 3, Dodgers 2. We're in the 4th. You see Sutton subtracting from the signals. Left field. Baker should make the play. He does. Rivers lines hard to Baker. Leaves 2 runners stranded. The Yankees do not score in the 4th, so as we go into the bottom half of the 4th inning, the score, New York Yankees 3, Los Angeles Dodgers 2. Then coming to bat for the Dodgers in the 4th inning, it'll be Steve Garvey, Ron Cey, and Dusty Baker. Bottom half of the 4th inning. This is Patty Sutton on that last one. Look, up for the fly ball, and then the reaction. Whew. Whew, my man got him. I tell you, lovely ladies. Foul back by Garvey.
Garvey's having one of those kinds of series where the fastballs, even though they're not real tough fastballs, he's a little bit laid out. The off-speed pitches, he's a little bit in front. He's just, I don't know if it's more mental or more physical, but he's in one of those twilight zones that he just can't seem to get in the groove. When he does get his pitch, he fouls it off. I guess it's called a slump, isn't it?
Well, I don't know if there's that many times at bat, Tony, as he fouls this one off, but Garvey coming into today's game was 5 for 20 with no home runs, no runs batted in. So he is 5 for 21. And Cindy, his wife, looking on. He's got a hit for them to go, and for him not to hit, it's going to just slow down the big machine because he's right in the middle of it. He's the 4th place hitter. He's got to tattoo the ball. Takes the pitch outside. Ball 1.
That's what he's going to have to do, lay off bad pitches. I think he's been swinging an awful lot. He did off Beatty in New York. He has off several other pitchers.
He chased the bad ball there, and you get anxious in there, and it gets psychological. You know, it's Campanella's great description that a slump begins in your bat, it goes to your head, and it ends up in your stomach. And you start to reach for the bad ball. And I've always felt that the slump, if you didn't want it like a common cold, it's there for 2 weeks. I don't care what you do. And this is the way you start him. High and tight, 2-2. Catfish throws that ball, that curveball out there. Tomlin comes inside, see if he'll chase it.
Catfish will use both sides of the plate, and that's what every good pitcher does. Is the outside and the inside corners going back inside.
And he very rarely gives you the middle. 3 balls, 2 strikes now on Garvey, who leads it off.
He gets good direction from that guy behind the plate, too, in Thurman Munson. 3-2 pitch here.
Fouled out of play. Garvey seemed to have a good cut at that one.
Fastball a little bit late again. A little bit behind it.
You know, Tony, you talk about hitters being uncomfortable. And the big thing is that when you're uncomfortable, when you get your pitch that you can hit as a hitter, the drive, you miss it. You foul it off back here in the back in the seats, just like you did.
Right at Greg Nettles. Hit the ball hard, but Garvey is out. Ran hard, but Nettles has shown he can play.
You can see the sigh of relief on Nettles' part right there. That came very close to go right through his leg because the ball got out of him in a hurry on this fast infield. He just got the tailgate down in time. He really battled it. That tough one again, almost right at him. You can see it. He caught it right in the tip of his glove in the webbing. Even a great fielder like Nettles sighed in relief after he did catch that hard shot.
Brings up Ron Cey, who flied deep to left his first time up. Makes it high. Ball 1. 1 out, nobody on. 3-2. Yankees lead the Dodgers.
You could see Thurman on that one. First he put his hand down low, and then he put his hand up high. He's sending 2 messages out to Catfish. The hand down low, Thurman is saying, I want the pitch down in the strike zone. And when he puts his hand up over his head like this, he says, make sure you get your arm up on top of your shoulder. Get up. Release the ball on top of the ball.
High pop fly. Bucky Dent drifts into short left field. Should make the play. He does. 2 outs.
Catfish Hunter has become one of the highest paid players in all of baseball by doing just what he did. Making a lot of hitters have good swings, just miss, throw their bat, and they say, nuts, I'll get him next time. The next time, he might do the same thing to you.
Munson's going out to talk to Catfish Hunter, and Munson knows his pitchers so well. In one game this season, Catfish was telling me that his arm didn't feel exactly right. He threw the ball. Munson went out there and said, you're not throwing the ball, and if you're not throwing it, you're going to get out of here. And he had like a 7-run lead, and they took him out before he could get complete a victory out of it. He knows his pitchers. Hot smash. Look at Bucky Dent. What a play. Got him. Fantastic play by Bucky Dent. I don't believe it, Tony.
Well, you're going to see a replay of it, and you still might not believe it. Dent goes 4 or 5 steps to his left, extends himself all the way as far as he could, somehow regains his balance. The only position in the infield you've got to make a lot of off-balance throw, and that's shortstop, and he did.
Fantastic play by Bucky Dent. Ends the inning at the end of 4 complete innings. Yankees 3, Dodgers 2. The preceding message was furnished by Major League Baseball.
That was Nettles in game 3. Today it's been Doyle and the Dent show. Dent retired the side, caught that ball when it was almost on the outfield grass. It was past it. Roy White, Thurman Munson, Reggie Jackson to face Sutton. Yankees lead 3-2 over the Dodgers. We're at the top of the 5th. We can see how Roy White has gotten on base, been in the middle of a lot of these Yankee rallies, leading the World Series in runs scored with 8. 1 strike to White. He is single. He is fly to left. But Cey was charging, but it goes foul. 2 strikes.
I love that camera angle we just had a moment ago because Roy White, really his eyes are darting all over the place. He's checking his hands. He looks at his knuckles. He looks at his feet. Here's a replay of it as he shortens up to try to beat out the base hit. He's also looking at the third baseman. And then when he sets his eyes on that pitcher, he just doesn't move. But he is a very active batter, although he doesn't look it.
Ron Cey at third with 2 strikes. He's moved back. White grew up on a team of kids where they used to imitate the Musials, the Williams, and most of them were switch hitters, just horsing around. And look what it's done for him. Next swing, did he go far enough? Appeal played, and the third base umpire, John Kibler. Kibler said, yes, you did, Roy White. So White's out on strikes, 1 down. Home plate umpire Joe Brinkman looked at third base for the appeal, and here's what he got. Here's the help he got from Kibler. 1 out. We bring up Munson. He's grounded out and struck out.
It's another good curveball, Tony, by Don Sutton. He's using it a lot tonight. It's become his effective pitch for the evening, and I think he's made up his mind that the Yankees are going to see a lot of it. You can see Sutton immediately asking for appeal. He knew it was a strikeout.
Thurman Munson, leading all the players in the World Series in RBIs. It's this one foul on a play.
You know, the two guys we got pitching tonight, Jim Hunter and Don Sutton, ranked 3 and 4 among active pitchers in the major leagues today with the number of starts, the number of major league starts. Hunter's got 457, and Sutton has 454. That's a lot of throwing.
Well, Sutton ranks well up high and holds some Dodger pitching records. 2 strikes on Thurman. Sutton was the starter in Game 2 at Los Angeles last Wednesday. He lost 4-3. Just let me check that. Two strikes on Munson. 1 and 2. Game 3 at New York. Friday night. Lost 5-1 to Guidry.
That was the Greg Nettles show.
Who was it? 1 out. 3-2 ball game. The Yankees lead. We're in the 5th. Hit hard. Save. That was a tough hop. Over to Garvey. Out number 2. So the Dodgers finding their infield at home a little more to their liking.
Here you see a shot from our left field camera. It's a 1 and 2 pitch. Another breaking ball that Ron Cey gets down on one knee. Fires across to Garvey. Thurman is out easily. Another fine play by Ron Cey at third base. Dodgers expressed some ill feelings about the field in Yankee Stadium, and they look like they're a lot more comfortable coming home playing on their own red infield.
Reggie Jackson with 2 outs. He's grounded out and he's struck out. Wide on the black, 1 strike. Sutton looks a lot sharper now than he did in the first inning or 2. He's gone a little more to the fastball. He's been around the corners. Like Hunter, he'll throw you a lot of different pitches. In one appearance at the plate, you might not see the same pitch twice. He'll give you the little straight changeup, the little screwball, sinker ball, curveball, hard slider. He'll change up on the curveball. 1 strike to Reggie Jackson. One and 1. Big crowd once again here in Dodger Stadium. Close to 56,000. See their Dodgers right now trailing by 1 run. 2 outs. Oh, Reggie might have been looking breaking ball, and Sutton came very close to throwing a fastball right by him high and in. Count goes 1 and 2.
You can bet me he was looking for something.
Even with 2 strikes, I got to believe Reggie was looking for an off-speed pitch.
Nobody's got that kind of eye.
Last time up, Reggie struck out on a 2-2 screwball that Sutton faded away from him. Now, there's a lot of psychological stuff going on here, too. Maybe a new catcher for Don Sutton, but there's a lot of shakes, a lot of no's, and a little communication stuff going on between Fergie and Sutton.
It's much better than a lot of guys' curveball. It's hard, it breaks a lot. The slider they used to talk about is that one that breaks maybe 6 inches, is very hard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Reggie Jackson facing Don Sutton in the top of the 5th. Yankees lead 3-2. There goes that shaking of the head. Ferguson was not even giving a sign at that time, and Sutton was shaking him off just to try and freeze Reggie. He blew it right by him. So that's Jackson with a 2-2 pitch. Sutton retires the side. Field 2 down. We'll go to the last of the 5th in Dodger Stadium. It's the Yankees 3, the Dodgers 2. And due up for the Dodgers, it'll be Rick Monday. Joe Ferguson. Well, the man sitting there with his lovely wife, Dick Clark. A little reminder to you, Carrie Clark. Dick Clark show normally seen on Wednesday. We'll have a special showing this week, Thursday at 8 p.m., 7 Central Time. Still looks like he's about 20 years old, doesn't he? Remember when Tom Seaver used to dance to his music? Poorly, but he tried it.
Yeah, not very well. That's exactly right.
Rick Monday, Joe Ferguson, Vic Davalillo. Last of the 5th, the Yankees lead over the Dodgers 3-2. 1978 World Series. We're in game number 6. The Dodgers have to win today, or there will be no 7th ball game. Monday is grounded out. Catfish Hunter with a 1-run lead. 1 ball. In case you didn't see the first ball game the Cat pitched, Tom Seaver talked about the therapy he underwent. He was hypnotized and they broke the adhesions in that shoulder. Fouled off, 1-1. He also found a little flaw in his delivery, watching some home movies over the winter time, where he had changed his delivery because of that sore shoulder. He has pitched a lot of innings in his baseball career. 1 ball, 1 strike. He had like a 9 or 10 year stretch there where it seemed like he was averaging almost, I don't know the fact before, almost 300 innings a year. With a DH, some of those innings are awfully tough. 2-2. But Catfish was one guy. There's Joe Ferguson on deck. Catfish said when the DH came in that he thought it would take some years off the end of his career because those innings you pitch with the DH late in the ball game, he gets Monday. Your arm might be a little tired, and when you got to throw the hard breaking ball to a tough hitter, there's a little more strain on the shoulder and elbow. Joe Ferguson, who doubled, scored a run in the 3rd. The only other Dodger run was Davey Lopes, a home run leading off the ball game for the Dodgers. Yankees scored all 3 of theirs in the 2nd. Nettles single, Spencer walk, Doyle doubled, left field, dead single. Foul out of play, 1 strike. Joe, I got to believe that Catfish Hunter, we've seen him an awful lot over the last few years, has got to be a pleasure to catch.
Oh, you got to love working with a guy like this. And the reason I say that, because when he's got his good stuff, you know it's going to be an easy game because he knows where he wants to throw it, and he never wastes a pitch. Every pitch works for him. It may be a ball, but it's setting up the next one, and that's the pleasure of catching.
2-strike pitch for Ferguson. He didn't waste one, Hunter. Ferguson drilled it to center field. Mickey Rivers began to limp as he came in for the ball, but he made a nice catch in short center field. 2 out.
You know, another thing about an outstanding pitcher like Catfish Hunter is that the guys that play behind him, not only the catcher, but the shortstop and the center fielder and everybody that plays behind him, Cat doesn't fool around on the mound. He gets up there and he gets ready and he pitches. And he doesn't pitch behind. He doesn't go to 3 balls and no strikes. He doesn't go to 3-1. He's not 3-2 on everybody. He gets the ball, he gets ahead of his hitters, and he makes them swing the bat. And that makes for a lot better play behind the pitcher. Guys behind him make the great plays for the outstanding pitchers that will pitch quickly and stay ahead of their hitters.
No doubt about it. 2 outs, 1 ball, no strikes on Vic Davalillo, the designated hitter, batting in the number 9 spot. Look at that right leg kick. Can you recall, and off the top of your head, Tom, what's the least amount of pitches you ever threw in a complete ball game?
Oh, probably about 95, maybe.
This guy threw a ball game a couple of years ago where he threw something like 79 or 80 pitches. So you can imagine what happens with an infielder fouled off toward the Dodger dugout. Nettles wants to climb the dugout, but he can't get at it. 2 balls and 1 strike. But that is remarkable. Some of the guys you think of, maybe a Nolan Ryan, who throw 200 pitches, 250 pitches, whatever it is, they strike out a lot. But you're on your toes as an infielder, up and down, back on your heels. This guy throws 80, you can be up.
I think as
there's Catfish Hunter's wife.
In 12 years, I think I've probably been under, in a complete game, been under 100 pitches 3 times, maybe.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. We're in the last of the 5th. The Yankees lead 3-2 in game number 6 of the 1978 World Series. Once it away. He got it away, fouled off. You know, they talk about pitchers who have good control, they just throw strikes, but there's the pitcher like Hunter who has good control within the strike zone. Right now, we're going to pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network. Little chopper that Nettles makes a nice play on to retire the fleet-footed Davila. So the Dodgers go down in the last of the fifth. The score as we go to the sixth, the Yankees 3, the Dodgers 2. 2 up, the sixth for the Yankees, Piniella, Greg Nettles, and Jim Spencer.
Earlier we showed you Patty Sutton, Don Sutton's wife, reacting. This is Helen Hunter, Catfish's wife. Watch this reaction. All right, she says, all right. They celebrated their 12th wedding anniversary yesterday, so this is a happy time for Catfish and his lovely wife, Helen. How about this? Is anything, nothing is sacred. Santa Claus in Dodger blue yet. How do you like that?
And the sixth for the Yankees, Lou Piniella, Greg Nettles, Jim Spencer.
I wonder. No.
Kurt Gowdy, Joe Garagiola, Tom Seaver, Tony Kubek here at Dodger Stadium for game number 6. Sutton had a couple laughs with the American League umpire Joe Brinkman. Piniella asked Brinkman to go out and have a look at the ball. 3-2, the Yankees lead over the Dodgers in the 6th. He has always been a good hitter, as that stat shows you. Led the Yankees in batting average the last 2 years. Piniella had to get out, looked like he was still laughing.
He broke up.
He sure did. Sutton must have said something to him. Sutton, of course, has been accused of doctoring a baseball. He was thrown out of a ball game by Doug Harvey. He has Band-Aids on his fingers at times with messages in them to umpires as they make him remove the Band-Aid. And years ago, they used to be able to strip pitchers to see if there was any foreign substance, but not anymore. Gaylord Perry, they made him strip in the dugout.
Still couldn't find it. The guy that Sutton really runs up a wall is your manager, Tom, Sparky Anderson.
Oh.
He has Sparky talking to himself, answering himself and everything.
Well, you see how successful Sutton has been this year at Dodger Stadium and what he's done on the road, so he's happy to be in this ballpark. Of course, we've got 2 pitchers' ballparks in the World Series this year. Dodgers found that out in Yankee Stadium, especially their right-handed hitters. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Piniella. Lou Piniella. Tampa, Mrs. Piniella.
You know what Gaylord Perry said about foreign substance on the ball? I talked about spitballs and scuff balls being psychological. He says throw it to the opposing manager's favorite player.
Sparky Anderson saved the balls over a few-year period. Every time Sutton pitched, had a special bag where he kept them in and saw that almost every ball, or he said, was scuffed right over the National League president Chub Feeney's name, and he had him under lock and key, and he was going to present his case. I don't think he ever had an attorney to do it for him, but sounded like he had a pretty strong one. 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs. Sutton pitching to Piniella. 2-2. Tom Lasorda, 28 years in the Dodger organization. Bob Lemon, who was fired at Chicago, fired a few years back at Kansas City, hired as Billy Martin's pitching coach a couple of years back. And then when Billy Martin left, resigned, Bob Lemon, Billy Martin's good friend, took the team over. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Joe Ferguson catching today as Yeager, who's not been too effective with the bat, was sat down, was sort of trying to shake the lineup up. Breaking ball, Piniella jumps all over it for a line drive base hit in front of Dusty Baker. So with nobody out, the Yankees have the leadoff hitter on in the 6th. Bring up Greg Nettles.
There you see Mrs. Piniella pretty happy about her man's base hit.
Piniella at first, you can see the dirt on his back. That was from the collision he had with the right center field wall on the double out there that he had in his glove momentarily. Big hole for Nettles to shoot through a pull header with Garvey holding Piniella. He had a good cut but fouled off a fastball.
You know, we talked about Steve Garvey earlier not having a very good series with the bat. Greg Nettles has not been hitting for the Yankees. He said he just doesn't. You know what Gaylord Perry said about foreign substance on the ball? I talked about spitballs and scuff balls being psychological. He says throw it to the opposing manager's favorite player.
Sparky Anderson saved the balls over a few-year period. Every time Sutton pitched, had a special bag where he kept them in and saw that almost every ball, or he said, was scuffed right over the National League president Chub Feeney's name, and he had him under lock and key, and he was going to present his case. I don't think he ever had an attorney to do it for him, but sounded like he had a pretty strong one. 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs. Sutton pitching to Piniella. 2-2. Tom Lasorda, 28 years in the Dodger organization. Bob Lemon, who was fired at Chicago, fired a few years back at Kansas City, hired as Billy Martin's pitching coach a couple of years back. And then when Billy Martin left, resigned, Bob Lemon, Billy Martin's good friend, took the team over. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Joe Ferguson catching today as Yeager, who'd not been too effective with the bat, was sat down, was sort of trying to shake the lineup up. Breaking ball, Piniella jumps all over it for a line drive base hit in front of Dusty Baker. So with nobody out, the Yankees have the leadoff hitter on in the 6th. Bring up Greg Nettles.
There you see Mrs. Piniella, pretty happy about her man's base hit.
Piniella at first, you can see the dirt on his back. That was from the collision he had with the right center field wall on the double out there that he had in his glove momentarily. Big hole for Nettles to shoot through a pull header with Garvey holding Piniella. He had a good cut but fouled off a fastball.
You know, we talked about Steve Garvey earlier not having a very good series with the bat. Greg Nettles has not been hitting for the Yankees. He said he just doesn't feel comfortable. We talked about feeling comfortable. He says he's missing his pitch. He's fouling his pitch off, and he doesn't feel like he's trying to pull the ball too much. It's a funny thing. It's a feeling I think that professional athlete will get. I don't feel right. I can't really explain it.
He went after a bad pitch, 1 strike pitch, hit it high in the air. Reggie Smith should have an easy play. 1 out in the 6th.
Going after pitches like that will give you an uncomfortable feeling, that's for sure.
Well, and if the Dodgers win tonight, there's Piniella at first. Game 7 will be played tomorrow night right here in Dodger Stadium, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And we know you'll join us. We've enjoyed. We've had some excellent ball games in this World Series. A couple of blowouts. The Dodgers in the first ball game, the Yankees on Sunday, Game 5. But those other games, 2, 3, and 4, were something to see. A lot of drama. Jim Spencer. 1 strike, 1 out. Yankees lead 3-2. We're in the top of the 6th. Spencer's walked, scored a run. He was called out on strikes in the 4th. Very valuable man to the Yankees this season. Fouled off out of play. 2 strikes. Spencer, DH'd. He filled in defensively at first base at times. Didn't get a lot of chance to play first base because Chris Chambliss didn't miss too many ball games. Missed 1 during the entire regular season. Piniella at first, held by Garvey. Gene Michaels, who's going to be a manager next year at Columbus in the Yankee chain, the first base coach. 2 strikes. Kind of a quiet Dodger crowd since the Yankees jumped ahead. What was that? In the dirt, but he is out. The hitter is out automatically in that situation. With first base occupied, and with the strikeout in that particular case, the ball's missed. The hitter was out, but the runners can't advance, which Piniella did.
I'm surprised he didn't go to second base, Tony. Only time you do that is with 2 outs. I mean, Ferguson go to second base. I know Piniella did, but Ferguson had no intention of trying to get him. He just went to first base and didn't have to do it.
He didn't have to do that. And that's the kind of play that you kind of get a little rattled because the hitter Nettles was out. Spencer was out. But they did advance. Got to be charged as what? A wild pitch or pass ball?
Got to be a stolen base because it's the only time that you throw to first base with 2 outs.
So it's Brian Doyle with a Yankee runner in scoring position. But he wasn't stealing on the play. He went after the ball, went in the dirt. So I don't know how you can give him a stolen base, but we'll check the official score. Foul back. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs.
It boils down simply that Piniella didn't know the rule, neither did Ferguson. And so Piniella, when he saw the ball swung and missed, he figured he'd have to throw him out at first base. So he didn't really run like he was stealing. He kind of took off. So I don't know.
It's got to be, I believe, a wild pitch or a stolen base. Or not a stolen base, a wild pitch or a pass ball. But we'll get the official ruling. There's Piniella at second with 2 outs. You question me, don't you? We'll let the official score decide, and we'll
Why would I
pass
question
it on to the
you?
fan.
I never question you, Tony.
Doyle, who's doubled, scored a run, a big double in the second inning to keep that Yankee rally going. He's singled in the 4th. He's 2 for 2. And there, Kibler once again. Now he gets the old Bronx cheer. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Piniella at second. Charge a wild pitch on the strikeout to Don Sutton.
I don't agree with that ruling.
Breaking ball too high, 3-1 to Doyle.
The reason I don't agree, I think that Ferguson had a lapse. He didn't know the rule.
Yeah, but he wasn't trying to steal until the ball hit the dirt and the strikeout was made. He didn't go until the ball got away from Ferguson.
Why punish the pitcher if you catcher don't know what's going on?
I want to punish you catchers. 3 balls, 1 base hit by Doyle. Piniella's going to have to come hard. Here comes Monday's throw. He is safe as the ball is fouled by Ferguson. He might have been out. Not an accurate throw from Monday, but now the Yankees take the lead 4-2. A 3-for-3 night by young Brian Doyle to drive in another key run in this 6th World Series ball game.
Watch this throw. Now, Monday, I think, from here, looked like he gave Ferguson a good ball to handle. It hit the mound, bounced in there. Ferguson is set. Just didn't catch the ball. He should have made the play. And Lasorda is coming out now.
Here's Piniella going home, and it looked like Ferguson might have taken his eye off the ball and looked at the runner right at the last moment. You see another angle of Piniella scoring on the ball by Doyle up the middle. You can't really get a good look at Ferguson's eyes, but it was a good throw. He should have been able to handle it. Monday made a fine throw from center field.
This is what the Dodgers were supposed to be to do to the Yankee outfield, and Dick Hauser, with 2 outs, just kept Piniella coming. He wanted to force a mistake, and the idea being, if you make a good throw, you got us. We've still got a 1-run lead. If you don't make a good throw or there's a botch up, we're going to have the 4th run on the board, a 2-run lead, and that's what happened. Brian Doyle, his first time up, got his first extra base hit in the American League. He had 10 singles during the regular season. Right now, he is 3 for 3 with 2 runs scored and a couple of RBIs. Tommy Lasorda has gone to the bullpen, as Bucky did with 2 base hits and 2 attempts. Will come up to the plate. And there is young Bob Welch, the dramatic confrontation that Joe Garagiola called for you early in this World Series against Reggie Jackson. He won that time. So, as Bob Welch comes in to get loose, I'll tell you the score is the Yankees 4 and the Dodgers 2 in game number 6 of the 1978 World Series. We're at game number 6 in Dodger Stadium. Recap very quickly what's happened so far in this ball game. The Dodgers jumped off to a 1-run lead. Lopes with a home run. Here's that play thrown from Monday, Joe.
Well, Lasorda said he would give up some defense by putting in Ferguson to get some offense, and it cost him right here because it looked like it was a ball Joe could handle. Piniella was not yet at the plate, didn't handle the ball, and Piniella was safe, so it's a 4-2 Yankee lead now.
Bob Welch has come on. He's the hard thrower we told you about who had the confrontation with Jackson and won it earlier. And then he suffered a loss in one of the other World Series games. 2 outs, 1 ball, no strikes on Dent. 4-2, the Yankees lead over the Dodgers with Doyle at second. 3rd World Series appearance by Welch. 1 save, 1 loss. There's Doyle at second. He's been a hero in this ball game with 3 base hits and a couple of RBIs for the Yankees. 3 innings pitched. Welch has struck out 4, giving up 1 base on ball, 1 run. Fouled off out of play. 2 balls, 1 strike. Lopes with a home run gave the Dodgers an early lead. That was leading off the ball game for the Dodgers. Then the Yankees came back with 3 runs in the second inning on 3 hits, 1 error, a key blow, the Doyle double. In the third, the Dodgers came up with another run, a double by Ferguson. He was driven home by Lopes, his second RBI, and you saw what just happened. Before Wells came in, the Yankees came up with another. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Yankees lead 4-2 over the Dodgers. We're in the top of the 6th. Doyle's at second. There's your line score. Trouble. Going to score another run as he shatters his bat. Doyle will score run number 5. So on a broken bat over Russell's head. Bucky Dent is also 3 for 3, and it is amazing. The 8 and 9 hitters are 6 for 6 in this ball game. 1 double by Doyle, and they have done some kind of job, Joe.
He gets jammed with this fastball, but he still has enough force behind his swing to just loop one of those polite singles that really stings a pitcher. Ball is not hit good. And Bucky Dent now has 10 base hits, 23 times at bat. He has driven in 7 runs. And Doyle is 7 for 15.
Mickey Rivers goes after a fastball, 1 strike. When you can get this kind of production from your 8 and 9 hitters, it is a real bonus. 6 for 6 between Doyle and Dent. 2 strikes on Rivers.
Watch Doyle round third. If he gets it, he just barely gets it. Whoops, just came close. He might have got the corner. They want you to step right in the middle, so there's no doubt, but he gave you a little excitement coming around there.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Is that the way you were taught to step in the middle?
The way I ran, yes, if I ever got there.
And one thing, Stengel always told us to do it just the way Doyle did. The inside corner with a left foot. Cut it more sharply. Foul up.
Any fast runner, I mean, I was station to station. I wasn't like you guys, express. If I got to first, I had to stop at second for gas. I went to third, I had to stop for repairs.
Now I know how that ball club you lost 114 ball games one year.
We did it on merit. Absolutely did it on merit.
1-2, he throws it all right by Mickey Rivers, but not without some trouble. The Yankees, with a good inning again, come up with 2 runs. Will go to the last of the 6th. The Yankees lead 5-2 over the Dodgers. The Dodgers will send up Davey Lopes, Bill Russell, Reggie Smith to try for this comeback. Down on the field right now, a man who is someday going to move in the baseball special section of the Hall of Fame, as Red Barber and Mel Allen did, is our partner, Curt Gowdy.
Thank you, Tony. Right place at the right time has happened to a lot of people in life. If somebody would have told Bob Lemon in spring training, you may manage the World Championship team this year, Lemon would have had him locked up. Fired by the White Sox, coming to the Yankees on the rise. He stayed in the background. We watch him over there very quietly in that Yankee dugout. His club in the lead now. But what a human interest story. Fired, hired as a pitching coach, and now the manager, if his club holds his lead, the manager of a World Championship team, Bob Lemon. Now back to Tony.
All right, Curtis, thank you. Davey Lopes, 1 strike. Lopes 2 for 2. Both RBIs in this ball game for the Dodgers, a home run and a single. He also has a stolen base. Greg Nettles playing even with a bag, retires Lopes.
That's a fine exhibition of pitching right there, Tony. First pitch, good hard slider, and a good change-up here. You'll see Lopes get out in front of that ball, bounce it easily down to Greg Nettles. Another fine play by him. But on top of that, a fine exhibition of pitching and changing speeds by Catfish Hunter. Here's another look at Nettles, who seems to catch everything he gets to down there. A big asset to that Yankee infield.
You've heard the expression, soft hands. You just had a chance to see him on the in-between hop. He just caressed the ball to his body, got a tough hop. And Greg Nettles and the Yankee infield has had some kind of Super World Series defensively. Russell hits it deep to left field on a 1-ball pitch, but not deep enough. Now White will come in. He's got it for the 2nd out.
Reggie Smith.
Greg Nettles, who might have been the man, as you said, Tom, that turned this World Series around for the Yankees in game number 3. Or did you say that, Joe? I guess you both did a little bit. You've all said it a couple of times.
I said that in the Jackson play, the interference play, or alleged interference, I should say.
2 outs, Reggie Smith. 1 ball. Yankees 5, Dodgers 2. We're in the last of the 6th. Grounded foul. There's Jim Lefevre, the man who managed in this Dodger organization in the minor leagues this year, who took the place of Jim Gilliam, a real favorite.
Tony, just to put a cap on what Kurt said, and he said it so well. That Bob Lemon, he said, you know, I got a championship club. I just have to stay out of the way.
He's being too modest.
I think so,
because
too.
he has had to take a pitching staff that had some arm problems. There's Garvey on deck. 1 ball, 2 strike. Pitch to Reggie. The Yankee Ball Club, as has been said many times, had done the impossible an awful lot. Came from 14 behind. When Billy Martin resigned, he had the club in a 5-game winning streak. They were just 10 and a half back. 3-2, 2 outs. Hunter facing Smith. Hunter, the man with 5 consecutive 20-win seasons. He pulled the string on a 3-2 pitch. It might stay in play. Munson's over. Now he's got a beat. Flips the mask. Look out, Thurman. Out of play.
You know, Lemon, he is too modest, and that's why you have so much respect for him, because he's a Hall of Famer. But it was just a case. Look at Munson getting there, that shades of Earl Batty. Remember when he hit the ball fence so hard? Lemon, I think, taking over that club, Tony, he's had some problems. He had some incidents like the bus incident even in this World Series. It's just a case of him putting the fire out with water rather than gasoline.
He's been something. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Pulled foul. Really hooking. He hit it hard. Hunter, even on 3-2. The first pitch, off-speed breaking ball. Pulled it foul. This time he went way inside, about 6 inches off the plate. To get the good part of the bat on, Smith had to pull it foul. There you see the road record of the Yankees. Any team in the major leagues, the best. Pulled foul again. Hunter's pitches are so close and have such good movement and change of speeds when they're on the corners. It's difficult to lay off his bat pitches, Tom.
Well, you know he has such good control that he's going to be around the strike zone. You know, and if he misses with a pitch, he's only going to miss 2 or 3 inches.
His lifetime career walk average is 2.5 per game. That's career. Check swing, bad pitch, chop ball. Nettles to Spencer. So they retire Smith. 3 up, 3 down. 6 are gone in Dodger Stadium. The score, the Yankees 5, the Dodgers 2, and we'll be back after these messages from your local station.
We're in the 7th inning. Roy White, Thurman Munson, and Jackson against Bob Welch. White 1 for 3. High, ball 1. Dodgers trailing by 3. Yankees 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors. Dodgers 2 for 1. All the way back, and it's ball 2. Roy White. White has had a good series. 8 for 23. But the story, his last 2 guys in the Yankee lineup, Doyle and Dent. Especially Dent. 3 balls, no strikes, Roy White.
You know, Tony, this is the 3rd time we've seen Welsh in this World Series, and we still haven't had a look at Doug Rauch and Rick Rose. Never.
Nope.
2 guys that between them, I think they won 30 games during the year.
Ball 4, Roy White draws the base on ball, so the leadoff man is on.
Thurman Munson.
Shot of the Dodger Stadium from the parking lot. Live from Dodger Stadium, where the Yankees are leading by 3, 5-2 in the 7th inning with nobody out and 1 man on. Munson, who bounced out to the shortstop in the first, struck out and bounced out.
You might see a hit and run right here. With nobody out and White on first. Lemon may start the runners. The Yankees, really, their base runners have been pretty aggressive. They haven't been that way like the Dodgers as far as stealing, Joe, but they've started quite a few of them in hit and run situations.
They've challenged everybody. It's a strike, a fastball. Bob Welch in relief of Don Sutton. There you see the split screen. Roy White, the base runner at first. Nobody out. Munson surprised everybody trying to bunt for the base hit. 2 strikes. There's Bob Lemon. 55,985 here tonight. Roy White, 1977 series, used only as a pinch hitter. He was 0 for 2. Foul ball out of play, right side. There was no DH rule, so he was on the bench as Jackson, Rivers, and Piniella played the outfield. But Roy White certainly a factor in this series. He's on at first. Thurman Munson, the batter, with a counter, strike 2. Just missed outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count.
Welch's job, very simply, there's Reggie Jackson on deck. Welch's job, very simply, is to shut the Yankees off for another couple of innings and hope the Dodgers can get something going.
Munson is out on strikes. Welch gets his first strikeout. Second strikeout, he got Rivers. And the 6th inning, here is Reggie Jackson if we look in Lasorda. Dodgers will have Garvey, Say, and Baker, the middle end lineup coming up. 5-2, Yankees lead. 1 out, base runner at first is Roy White. Jackson bounced out to the shortstop in the first, struck out in the third, struck out in the 5th.
He almost got quick hits, Joe.
Plate umpire Joe Brinkman called time. Oh, that's gone. That's 2 more. He stayed at home plate. Forget it. That's way out of here. Jackson knew he touched one off. He's battled Welch, and he just showed, I am the boss, youngsters. He really drilled one. Tips his hat to the fans. And now we got a 7-2 ball game. When Jackson hit that ball, which has become a trademark, Piniella takes it outside for ball 1. He just stood at home plate for a minute to watch it sail out. It's low, ball 2. He really put a charge into that.
I don't know which one was farther, that one or the home run in game 1, but they're both pretty close.
Center field, Monday going back, so is Smith. Monday takes charge.
Reggie takes as big a swing as anybody that I've seen in the big leagues, including the big guy Scargill and McCovey in the National League, and when he hits them, he knows that they're gone. He hits those shots that, I mean, they're just out of everything, and that's gone. And he likes to enjoy them too.
Oh, does he love to watch them?
Last time he was here, of course, in Dodger Stadium, facing Bob Welch. Welch struck him out in that very exciting ball game. What a dramatic game that was, and Reggie just put a crusher on him.
7 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Yankees, 2-4-1, and time is called once again. You see John Kibler, he was the one who called time. He's at third base. Bill Haller at second base called time, and Joe Brinkman called time.
You know, we've seen relatively few arguments on balls and strikes. Sure, there was a controversial play in Yankee Stadium, but really the umpires have not had a lot of heat. There's Lasorda from the players on ball and strike calls in this series.
The only one big argument is that play at Russell to the ball. Jackson, that's it. Behind the plate, they've been very peaceful. Nettles pulls it foul. Jackson, that was his 9th home run in this series. He's 6th on the all-time list. Mickey Mantle leads with 18. Babe Ruth is 15. Yogi 12. Duke Snider 11. Garrick 10. Reggie Jackson 9. Mickey Rivers holds court. Nettles takes it low. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, 2 runs are in. A tremendous home run by Reggie Jackson. Davey Lopes hit a home run to open the game for the Dodgers in the bottom of the 1st. Yankees erased that with 3 in the second, and they just got 2 more. Off the handle, Reggie Smith should have no problem. So that ends the inning, the 7th inning, and the score, Yankees 7, Dodgers 2, and for the Dodgers it'll be Steve Garvey, Ron Cey, and Dusty Baker. The youngster Bob Welch on the Dodger bench. He just gave up a 2-run homer to Reggie Jackson. He'll watch now as Garvey, Cey, and Baker will try to score some runs for the Dodgers. Line drive, left field. Roy White comes in, makes the play, and there's 1 out. We're in the 7th.
Third baseman, Ron Cey.
If the one thing the Yankees have done throughout this series, as we see the line drive catch by Roy White, is they've been very steady defensively. They've had spots where they've been sensational. Nettles and Doyle and Dent today a couple of times, but they haven't messed up too many balls, Joe.
No, they haven't. And here is Ron Cey. It's a strike. I started to say, and they wanted, I'm sure, 6 tough innings out of Catfish Hunter. He is pitching a 4-hitter. It opened up with a home run by Lopes. Lopes has 2 of those 4 hits. Left field, Roy White comes in. He'll not get this one, and there's the 5th hit. Ron Cey is on. This crowd comes to life.
Well, Joe, if the Dodgers are going to get back in this game, the middle of this lineup has got to do something. Of course, Steve Garvey has been quiet the entire World Series. He made the first out of this inning, and Ron Cey here singles with that 1 out. But they've got to have some production out of these middle guys. Cey, Baker, Monday. The guys did a lot for him during the regular season, and they've only got 8 outs left. They're going to have to hustle.
Baker bounced out in the 2nd inning, robbed of a base hit by Bucky Dent. Down the left field line, Roy White is there. 2 outs. There's a play that I look at my score sheet as Cey heads back to first. That double play in the 3rd inning started by Brian Doyle. Big play.
You bet. That'll get him a couple votes for MVP in this World Series. Again, it's not over with. The Dodgers have had 5 3-run innings in the first 5 games of this World Series. That's their biggest inning, and they're going to have to get at least another one of these to get back in, and then maybe another big inning to get out in front.
Both the scouting reports, and Bob Neiman was the other scout for the Yankees, along with Tebbets and Kraft and Ed Liberatore, Charlie Metro, and Jerry Stevenson for the Dodgers. Hunter almost fell as he threw that. The one thing they all stressed was that the other guy has the ability to come back. You got to nail it down because they can come back. You know what the Yankees did all year, and these Dodgers the same thing. You know, they were 6.5 games out at one time. Everybody kept talking about Cincinnati and San Francisco. So both clubs can come back. Right now, the Yankees are leading by 5, 7-2. We're in the 7th. 2 outs, 1 on. Well hit to right field. Near the line, it is a foul ball. They were within inches of 2 runs. Rick Monday. That was a close one, and you can see Monday, as he walks back, he thought he had one.
Former teammate Hunter, he was the man playing center field when Catfish pitched his perfect ball game.
1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs. Spencer playing behind Cey at first base. That's out of play.
You know, as we get closer here, too, Joe, we got 2 outs in the 7th inning. The guy in the Yankee bullpen, Big Goose Gossage, could certainly come to play.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
If Catfish does get in trouble, does give up a long home run, they still have the big guy coming out of the bullpen. That's certainly a plus in their corner.
And Lemon won't wait long either.
Off the handle, popped up, he jammed in. Bucky Dent calling for it. Bucky Dent makes the play. So the 7th inning ends. The Dodgers do not score. At the end of 7 complete innings to score.
Yankees 7, the Dodgers 2. The Dodgers have a new pitcher. Doug Rauch has come on in relief, and he has been kind of in the center of a controversy. Why he wasn't used?
Well, one of the Dodgers scouts recommended in his scouting report that Rauch should be one of the pitchers in Yankee Stadium against the Yankees because of that ballpark and their left-handed power. And, of course, Mickey Rivers, too. So Rauch comes in now, 5 runs down. And let's hear what Lasorda had to say about why he hasn't pitched him earlier.
Well, first of all, Tony, we haven't been able to get in a position where we could use Doug Rauch. You see, we started Tommy John thinking that you have to have one pitcher that would be able to pitch in three ball games. In other words, he'd have to go the 1st, the 4th, and the 7th. And Doug Rauch was going to be used exclusively as a long relief man. We haven't had that opportunity to use him. And in the event that Don Sutton doesn't do well tonight, we've got Doug Rauch ready, and we had him ready in case Sutton wasn't able to pitch. So this is the thing that we've done with Doug Rauch. He's done a tremendous job for us this year. He won 16 ball games, but he and Roden had to be used in a certain situation.
Tommy Lasorda explaining the Rauch situation, how he figured in the Dodger plans. He's out there now against Jim Spencer. Fastball misses, ball 1. Joe Garagiola with Tony Kubek, Kurt Gowdy, and Tom Seaver, Dodger Stadium. We're in the 8th inning. 7-2 Yankees leading. Foul ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Spencer walked and scored. Yankees able to capitalize. A base on balls to Spencer, they scored. A base on balls to White in the 7th, he scored on Jackson's home run. You put them on, set the table, and somebody will come along to clean it off. Curveball outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. 10 hits in this game. The last game in Yankee Stadium. 28 hits in 2 days. Off the handle. Ron Cey should have no problem. 1 out.
No doubt that Doug Rauch was disappointed. He said he was, but he said, I'm a veteran pitcher. I cannot second guess my manager, Tommy Lasorda. There's Bob Lemon, the Yankee manager, and Yogi Berra.
This is Brian Doyle. He doubled and scored. Drove in 1 run. That was in the 2nd, and he singled in the 4th. He singled and scored in the 6th. 7 for 15. This is for a ball player who was supposed to be a blowout patch. Just help out a little bit. Give us a little defense. When Willie Randolph got hurt, he and Stanley have done some job. This one's pulled into the stands. And the pressure, I think it's an overlooked thing with this youngster. He didn't play that much this year. In fact, the double he hit to left field was his first extra base hit as a Yankee.
Joe, I think what you're saying is so true. And there you see 5 hits in a row. The record is 6 by Thurman Munson of the Yankees in 1976. And Leon, was that Goose Gosling of Washington, the 24 World Series? Whoa!
Came within inches of joining the 2 pretty good ball players.
You know what I think is also important, Joe, that Doyle came up later on in the season, and by this World Series performance, it might assure him of a job with the Yankees next year as that utility infielder, and that's got to be a big plus for him because he obviously was concerned about it.
He's had some series. They're proud of him in Cave City, Kentucky. Curveball. Doug Rauch has it. And Brian Doyle is retired, and the fans react.
Well, he was going for hit number 6 to tie Munson and Gosling's record, but Rauch makes an easy play. Little chopper, had plenty of time to make that jump and tie it. Brian Doyle came very close in his first World Series.
Here is Bucky Dent. Bucky drove in 2 runs with a single in the 2nd. He singled to center, and he drove in a run with a single in the 6th. Ball 1. 10 for 23. What a finish this guy's had. Out of play. Go back to that Red Sox game when he just looped one into the screen for that big home run.
You know, Joe, you talk about taking advantage. That's an obvious fact with these Yankees. They are really something. They're the most opportunistic team that I have ever seen. And I think one reason because of that is they have so much experience in the lineup. White, Munson, Jackson, Piniella, Nettles. They have a lot of years out there. And I think that rubs off on the young guys to kids that haven't played that much, the Doyles and the Dent. I think that's a big plus for the entire team, having all that experience in the middle of your lineup.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Inside 2-2. My first World Series was 1946, and I remember how much help guys like Howard Paulette, Terry Moore, with Whitey Kurowski, you felt like, well, if I just showed up, I'm going to be all right. You need that experience. Dent up the middle. Russell. Quick throw. In time. So it's 1-2-3. Doug Rouse sets the Yankees down. We're going to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's Yankees 7, Dodgers 2. And 2 up for the Dodgers in the 8th inning. It'll be Joe Ferguson, Vic Davalillo, the DH, and Davey Lopes, a hot hitter. Joe Ferguson leads it off. Bob Lemon adds Paul Blair to the outfield, replacing Mickey Rivers for defense. So Blair is in center field, and Ferguson, who is 1 for 2, leads it off. Down the left field line, it is curving foul. Dodger fans trying to get something going here. Dodgers down to 6 outs. 55,985 here tonight. Inside, ball 1.
Catfish has pitched a super game here tonight, Joe. Only 5 hits and 2 runs. The Yankees, though, got their big guy going in the bullpen just in case. Goose Gossett has gone down to warm up.
2 balls, 1 strike. Catfish has struck out 3, walked 1. Allowed 5 hits. Center field, Paul Blair, way back, way back. He cannot get it. It bounces into the stands. It's another double for Ferguson. Here comes Bob Lemon as Paul Blair looks to find where he is, watches it hit the wall, and carom off him over the fence for a double. Bob Lemon has come out to talk to his pitcher, Catfish. May make a move. He's got Gossage out there. Munson will be a big factor in this decision, Tom.
Well, I think Bob will listen to both of them. He's already made his decision. Goose Gossett is coming in.
He wanted 5, maybe 6 tough innings from Catfish. And with a smile on his face, he asked for Goose Gossage to come in. This big guy can really throw. 7 runs, 10 hits, and no errors for the Yankees. 2 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error for the Dodgers. As you look at these Dodger fans.
The only complete game we had in the series has been by Jim Beattie. That was Sunday in New York, game number 5. He didn't have any in 23 starts for the Yankees this year.
Gossage making his way in. One of the tough things for a catcher is when a manager comes out and in front of the pitcher asks you, well, what do you think? What kind of stuff has he got? And with that pitcher staring you down, you got to give him a truthful answer. As we look at the Dodger bench, Basgall, Lasorda, and Garvey. Hunter will get a nice hand from this crowd. Their respectability.
Well, I think, too, in a Lemon in that situation, Joe, when he comes to the mound, he's going to get an honest answer from Catfish and Thurman both. I mean, there's a lot of mutual respect between Jim, Catfish Hunter, and Thurman Munson both.
Well, the mound is really no place for heroes. I mean, I've heard pitchers say, oh, I got my good stuff, and you know that they relay it on, and they think that it's really a mark of weakness. But the good pitcher, I know Sparky talks about you, Tom. Whitey Ford, I mentioned Howard Paulette a moment ago, Harry Buquin, guys like that who, there's the Catfish, that's quite a picture right there. The mound is no place for heroes. If you don't have it, get some help, especially when you got a guy like Gossage out there. 7 innings pitched, 2 runs, 6 hits, 3 strikeouts, 1 walk.
I think the one thing that a pitcher should do when his manager does come to the mound, and something that I've always tried to do in the games that I've pitched, is know who makes the decision out there. Manager comes to the mound, how do you feel? He asks the catcher, what's he got? Give the manager an honest decision, and then let your manager make the decision. You're in or you're out. You tell him, you got to give him an honest answer, how you feel, and then let your manager make the decision.
Tom, in the All-Star game, Gossage had his problems. He seemed to be overthrowing that ball, really wanting to put extra on it. So we'll wait and see here as Vic Davalillo comes up. You saw him throw in the All-Star game.
I was there, and that's one of his problems. He can try and throw the ball too hard, and he's got such a good fastball, but there are times in a game, let's say he's throwing 95 miles an hour, he'll try and throw it 98 miles an hour, and then his control will go out the window.
Davalillo, strike one. Nobody out. On at second base is Ferguson. Gossage, this is his third game. He's pitched 4 innings. He hasn't allowed a run, hasn't allowed a hit, walked 1, and he has struck out 2. Ferguson, 7-2, bottom of the 8th. Yankees lead. Ball 1.
One thing about this situation, the Dodger hitters certainly are not going to have to guess what pitch is coming. I mean, they're going to get dead red heat. Gossage throw the ball hard, harder, and hardest. And he'll go just as hard as he can for a couple innings.
Bouncing ball up the middle. Going to be a tough play. Doyle tries to make it. Can't get him.
Well, there's a spark of a little rally here in Dodger Stadium. Another fastball right down the middle. Davalillo pounds it into the ground. This hard Dodger turf. Brian Doyle almost made a super play.
Most difficult to try to throw to a base you're running away from. You can't get too much on it, but he was very accurate. Here is Davy Lopes. Ball 1. Crowd really reacting. They really come to life. Strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out. Ferguson at third. Davalillo is at first. Yankees lead 7-2, bottom of the 8th. Gossage in relief. Out of play, foul ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count on Davy Lopes, who's been the hottest hitter. Home run in the first inning, a single to drive in, a run in the third. Both runs driven in by Davy Lopes. He has scored 1. Struck him out. Davy Lopes is out on strikes, so Gossage gets his 3rd strikeout of the series. His first out here in the 8th.
A big out for the Yankees, that's for sure. It looked like a fastball that might have sunk, or maybe even a slider. Lopes, a very good fastball hitter. Ball looked like it was in the strike zone. That's a big out for the Yankees.
Russell takes it low for ball 1. Bill Russell singled in the first inning as Lasorda looks on. Russell walked in the 3rd. He flied to left. Two balls, no strikes. Nettles hollers something to Gossage. Just get the ball over, make him hit. Leading by 5. Dodgers got 2 base runners on. It's a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike with 1 out. Crowd, 55,985. Russell, a hot shot. Nettles to Doyle. 1 over to first. Double play. Goose Gossage comes in to get a strikeout and a double play. And the fire that was started by the Dodgers in the 8th goes out. So at the end of 8 complete innings, the score, Yankees 7, Los Angeles Dodgers 2.
Here's a look at that inning double play. The Dodgers had a rally going, but Mr. Nice Guy, Greg Nettles, the second up infield of the New York Yankees, over to second and over to first, and Billy Russell grounds into the double play. There's the takeout at second base. Brian Doyle right over and under, and look at Gossage. Look at Goose Gossage come off the mound. It looked like he went up for a big rebound, didn't he? He is a happy man.
Goose jumps straight up. That's not a rare thing for Nettles. Greg holds the Major League record for third baseman with 54 double plays. That was in 1971. Game being held up now as we have some fireworks. A fan ran on the field, and now some fireworks being dropped out there. Dodger fans, a funny way, a weird way to show to show the disappointment. But the firepower really came from the Yankees, as Jim Spencer says hello to Mom. Here is Paul Blair. First time at bat in this game. He swings and misses at the first pitch. He had a good cut. Doug Rauch.
I can't believe this. They're playing this game and there's a smoke bomb in left field. And they're not doing anything about it.
That has really thrown out some smoke. 2 strikes. Umpires keep looking out there. Smoke is about going out, so they say it's all right. Blair on 3 pitches, and Rauch gets him. Rauch retired the 3 men in a row. So there's 1 out, brings up Roy White. Now, due to the length of tonight's game, we would like to remind you that immediately following its conclusion, except on the West Coast and most Mountain Zone stations, you'll be able to enjoy your local news coverage. And don't forget to stay tuned right after that for the Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson. Now, for those of you on the West Coast and most Mountain Zone stations, you'll be seeing your local news and the Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson at your regular time. 1 strike on Roy White. 1 for 3 tonight. That was a single in the first inning. Strike 2. Doug Rauch. Don Sutton started, Bob Welch, and now Rauch. Catfish Hunter for the Yankees, replaced by Goose Gossage. Outside. 7-2 is the score. We're in the 9th inning. Yankees are out in front, 1 out, nobody on. Dodger bench says it all. A grim Dodger bench. Roy White can't grab it. So there are 2 outs. Strikeout number 2. Let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network. Joe Garagiola along with Tony Kubek, Kurt Gowdy, and Tom Seaver at Dodger Stadium. 6th game of the World Series. 2 outs, nobody on. Thurman Munson the batter. The score, Yankees 7, Dodgers 2. Munson dribbles one down the third base line. Going to be a tough play. He'll not get him. Munson has an infield hit. Munson is on with a base hit, an infield hit. And that brings up Reggie Jackson.
Here you see the ball going down the third baseline. Ronnie Say comes in one-handed. It really has no chance. Those swinging bunts are very difficult plays to make. Say was playing back and really has no chance. See how far back he is there at third base, and he's got to come all the way in. It's almost a perfect strike bunt. From where he's playing, there's no way to get Munson, who runs very well for a catcher.
Jackson, who had a tremendous home run his last time up. He tries for another one. Strike 1. Jackson will really close that 77 World Series with a big finale blast. Seven to 2, 9th inning. Rauch calls time now.
You know, Joe, I'm really impressed with watching this Yankee team. I watched them all the way through the playoffs and went to the playoff games at Yankee Stadium, and then watching them through this World Series, how professional and opportunistic they are. I must say it again, they really take advantage of the situation. They know how to go for the juggler. They know how to go for the kill.
I tell you, it's an amazing comeback that they made. They were counted out. And you could hear the nails hit that coffin as they were being nailed into it. Refused to give up, came back, and here they are, just 3 outs away from defending the World Championship. And it'll be interesting what happens in that Yankee clubhouse if they do hold on and win, and we'll be there with our cameras. Down goes Jackson. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Did it hit him? Plate umpire Joe Brinkman says, wait a minute, we got a discussion now.
Reggie saying the ball hit him. Joe Brinkman saying no, the ball hit the bat.
We'll see.
We don't know here.
I think he may have called it a strike. Jackson is stunned. It was called a strike, and it is bat foul tip. Why was it? What was it? No, he's going to hit it. It's just a ball. Reggie Jackson. You judge this play now. Here is the replay.
Ball, if it did hit him very hard. It might hit him on the bottom of the hand. That's a very difficult call for the umpire to make. Reggie right down on the knob of that bat, of course.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
I can't imagine Reggie Jackson wanting to give up a time at bat in the World Series, can you? He likes to go up and swing that lumber.
2 outs. Munson's on at first. Foul back. I'd say he gets reaction. He gets reaction, Jackson.
He got booed for taking batting practice today.
He put on some show. Doug Rauch, 2 strikeouts here in the 9th inning. Munson the base runner at first. Time call. Jackson trying to get set. We'll have Reggie Smith, Steve Garvey, and Ron Cey. Jackson is out on strikes. So Doug Rauch strikes out the side and ends the 9th inning. And his season comes down to the bottom of the 9th. The score, Yankees 7, Dodgers 2. And it'll be Reggie Smith up for the Los Angeles Dodgers to lead it off. Reggie Smith, Steve Garvey, and Ron Cey. Tom, it's hard to imagine, but when you come down to this, it all began back in March, and now you're down to your final 3 outs. You need a rally. A whole season.
It's a crazy long game, Joe. You start way back when it's still snow up in the North Country, and you play about 30 games in spring training, and then you play 162 games during the season. Then you've got the playoffs, 4 more games, and then here it is, 6 more games. You add up to about 200 baseball games for the year. Comes out, you need 3 outs, and you can be the world champions. You got Goose Gossage on the mound, your free agent that they picked up from the Pittsburgh Pirates, and your foreign territory in Dodger Stadium. It makes all the work and all the travel and all the hotels and all the airplanes and all the getting into towns at 2 and 3 in the morning and working 7 days a week. It makes it much more than worthwhile, that's for sure. Players out there obviously are not playing for money, they're playing for pride. Professional pride is one of the beautiful things in this country.
Number 27.
So it's Reggie Smith. Three outs. Gary Thomason is going into play left field. These fans. First pitch, left field. Thomason going back. He has room. There is 1 out. There is Piniella. He's been replaced by Jay Johnstone in right field. Catfish Hunter, who wants to see the finish. That Yankee bench says it all. There is Reggie Jackson. Steve Garvey, who's had a tough series. Yankees standing 2 outs away from defending their championship. Goose Gossage, who came on to get a strikeout and a double play. Right field, down the line, it is curving foul. Now you see Jay Johnstone, not that guy in the yellow pants. That guy, you probably could go visit him Sunday, 2 to 4.
There's a very somber Dodger bench right there. They won the first 2 games here in Dodger Stadium and went to Yankee Stadium and got cleaned out.
Good fastball by Bruce Gossage, the Goose. The Yankees leading by 5. Garvey fouls one back. These Yankees with this amazing comeback. If they hold on, will climax by defending their championship. They came into the World Series, lost the first 2, and no team has ever lost the first 2 and won the next 4. Teams have lost 2 and won in a 7-game series, but never in a 6-game series. It's the Dodger bench with Lasorda. It really says it all. 2 strikes, 1 out, high and tight. Gossage against Garvey. Strike 3. Garvey is out on strikes, so there are 2 outs. And now it's down to the final out. Ron Cey. The Yankee bench standing, anticipating. The Dodger bench hoping against hope. Yankees, it'll be their 22nd World Championship and 2nd in a row if they can hold on. It's a strike. Yankees came from 4th place and 14 games behind in July. Here they are. 2 strikes, 1 out away. Ball 1.
And now they're 2 strikes from another World Championship, their 2nd championship in a row.
22nd for the Yankees. 1-1 pitch. Outside. Two balls, 1 strike.
The Yankee bench in anticipation of a win, and the Dodger bench very sad and very somber, and that's very understandable, of course. Goose Gossage looking for 2 more strikes. That'll wrap it up.
There's his strike.
That's
2-2. Remember now, immediately following its conclusion, this game, except on the West Coast and most Mountain Zone stations, you'll be able to enjoy your local news coverage. Stay tuned right after that for the Tonight Show, starring Johnny Carson. Fouled out of play. And on the West Coast, you'll see your local news and the Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson at the regular time. We're down 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Gossage against Cey. The whole season may be wrapped up in this pitch. Popped up. Munson. This could be it. He's got room. He's waiting. The Yankee bench on the field. Yankees are the champions. Ron Cey pops out. There's the Dodger bench. And the Yankees head for the clubhouse. The champions.
Well, that's a sign of jubilation, and the Yankees are very, very happy. Dodger fans are streaming on the field, looking for souvenirs, trying to steal a player's hat. Reggie Jackson going through the crowd. Many times in that situation, you wonder about your personal safety. But it's a happy feeling when you get to the clubhouse. It's one of the rare feelings in sports. I've been very lucky myself to be on a World Championship team, and there's a sad Dodger clubhouse. I've been in that situation too. It's been a long week for Tommy Lasorda. There's not a man in baseball that loves his organization more than Tom Lasorda, and he does love the Los Angeles Dodgers. And the world champions for the 2nd year in a row, the New York Yankees.
So our cameras are there, and the Yankees. There you see Jim Beattie. And here goes the pouring of the champagne, which of course has become traditional. 7 runs, 11 hits, and no errors for the Yankees. And it's 2 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error for the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Yankees are the 1978 World Champions. Don Sutton, the losing pitcher, catfish hunter, is the winner.